What's up, Internet? Cory Zamier here, collecting with Cory. We're back to go over my pickups over the last 2 weeks. This includes a whole bunch of flea market finds, an eBay pickup, and all the fucking money I spent on Black Friday. Let's go. Alright, first up, let's talk about what I was able to find at the flea market. The first weekend at the flea market was very Sega Genesis heavy. With the exception of a $1 Mario hat that I have no idea what to do with. It's official Nintendo branded. Let me know if you guys know what the hell this is from or when the hell this is from. It's slightly used. It says one size. It says one size fits all, but it's clearly a child's hat. It wouldn't fit on my head even without this. You know, so I don't know. It was $1. It had Mario on it, but it caught my eye, and it was in a bin at a booth that I usually don't really pay that much attention to, but I have started to since then. He keeps everything in piles on the ground and with boxes, some of them not in boxes, stuff like that. A whole bunch of Genesis games. And one extra manual that was in there for Lethal Enforcers, which if I had the light guns for the Genesis, I wouldn't mind having that game either. These were $2 each, so I paid the guy $11 for the games and the hat, I guess. So we got a complete Jeopardy, Battleship, Steel Talons, Madden 98, but with Madden 97 inside. Weird. And the Sega Classic version of Columns. And I say it was a Sega Genesis heavy week because the very next booth, like literally like diagonal from him, I found this Sega Genesis Model 2. Came with a regular 3-button controller and also a 6-button controller. Better condition than the last two I found. The last two I found I actually had Ted try out. I was trying to sell them to him, and they don't work. They don't work right. So hopefully this one does. One thing that was weird about this one is I've kind of cleaned it up a bit, and I don't know if it'll come across on video. There was like black goop on the bottom of this one. I don't know what from. It was like almost like tar, but whatever. Came with Toy Story, and I was able to bundle it together with the real thing that I really wanted from his booth, which was 2 Nintendo Power magazines. This is 102 and 103. Not Madden, NFL Quarterback Club and Diddy Kong Racing on the covers. Both have their posters. I don't remember what it was. WCW versus NWA World Tour. It's kind of weak. I think this one had a pretty cool poster though. Let's find out. Diddy Kong Racing. Very cool. And for all that, from that one vendor, I paid $20, which is not bad. He wanted, originally, he was asking $45 for the Sega Genesis, and I really was not interested in it at that price. He came down a lot once he saw the look on my face when he said $45, which I was thinking about it, and I think it's actually a benefit to you to get, like, when you do get to the flea market a little bit later, that there have been many that came before you that saw, like, the same items and scoffed at the price, because then they kind of get it in their head like, well, I've just had 3 people ask about this. Maybe it's not worth $45. Maybe that's not a good deal. Maybe I'm not going to get this money, and that kind of leads them to, like, really be open to negotiation or haggling, you know? And I feel like that might have been the case for this, because I don't think we were there first thing in the morning like we usually are. And didn't have a power cord, came with an RF switch. Just funny because all the Sega Genesis I found in like the last few months didn't have any RF or AV cords, just power cords, so whatever. Before I get into eBay and Black Friday, let's go over what I got at the flea market today. For, I think it was $5 I paid. It was part of something else I needed to pick up. I needed to pick up like a hash truck for my mother for a Christmas gift for one of the kids in the family. But as part of a bundle, I got a N64 controller, basic gray with a pretty good stick. Pretty nice condition otherwise, a little bit dirty, but the stick is the only thing that really matters. So that was a pretty good pickup right there. Got these two PS3 games, 2 for $5, complete, and I'm at any other price, like even if they were like $3 each, I don't even know if I would have picked them up because I have no desire to play these games. And I've seen the first game in this series be played, and that is Final Fantasy 13-2 and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. I pretty much watched Final Fantasy 13 as a Let's Play, and it's probably the most uninteresting Final Fantasy I've ever seen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably agree with me. And then the cool thing I really got there, I didn't even look at this really. I have no idea what this is. This was in the case, and I just knew it was a Sega Game Gear game. I didn't have Arena Maze of Death. Weird name. All these games were supposed to be $2 each that I'm about to show you, as well as the Game Gear game. I asked if they would take $10 for the pile. Next up, we have Power Racer, which I don't have. Donkey Kong Land, which I'm pretty sure I do. Powerpuff Girls Battle Hymn. I'm pretty sure that's one of their villains. I don't have that one. Probably start putting these in the piles accordingly. This was the main reason I wanted to get these games, I think. So I've never actually seen this game. Earthworm Jim. Menace to the Galaxy. I don't know. It's an Earthworm Jim game. Try it out. Shitty label copy of Super Mario Land 2. And the last game, and a few of these came with the cases. I don't really care for the cases, but they're good when I sell them on eBay. You know, ship the game in them. This one's kind of bad condition. I might already have this. Revenge of the Gator. And it actually has some codes attached to the back, which is pretty cool. You can get infinite supply of balls. Guess it's a pinball game. Start with 1 ball, start with 9 balls. Disable left flipper, disable right flipper. Why would you want to handicap yourself? What the fuck is wrong with this game? Why would you care about that? I don't know. But decent that I was able to find some Game Boy games for my collection at the flea market and some semi-decent recoupers. What else do we have? eBay. Now this is a game that came out, I believe, like the same week or within 2 weeks of Super Mario Odyssey, and thus got overshadowed quite a bit. But I hear it's very much like Super Mario 64, so I wanted to pick it up. And because I've been picking up Switch games like they're fucking crack cocaine and I'm an addict or something. We got Poi not Collector's Edition, Explorer Edition. I don't know why they always like put editions on games when it's the only edition that exists, you know? Like, it makes sense for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild when they have like 4 different versions of it now. They came out with the new Explorers Edition or whatever. But unless they intend to come out with another edition of Poi that's just Poi, that is somehow missing something, Like this one says Explorer Edition exclusives, unlockable soundtrack and digital art book, new costumes and hat only available within the Explorers Edition, and Joy-Con motion. I guess it's because it's the Switch version. Maybe this was on other consoles, I don't know. But I paid, I believe it was about $24 in eBay money, or PayPal money. So, not bad considering it's still 30 plus at GameStop. Alright, on to Black Friday pickups. What we have here is some stuff that I picked up on, what is it called? Brown Thursday? Black Thursday? Whatever you call Thursday, right after Thanksgiving. I was pretty sure I was going to have a very long rant in this video about how stores are opening up on Thursday and like it's kind of fucking the people that want to do Black Friday but can't because they're actually human beings and they spend time with their families. But aside from 2 games, I pretty much got everything I wanted, but I still kind of believe that. I still think it's kind of bullshit that we're dipping further into Thursday, into Thanksgiving, to go shopping. It's fucking bullshit. Like, I was pissed because I was just, like, chilling there in the middle of, like, the second Thanksgiving feast at a different house. And it's just, like, it dawned on me, wait a minute, let me check online deals because I'm pretty sure they're probably live right now. And this is probably, like, 7 o'clock. And, of course, I had intended to get, like, everything at Best Buy online. And everything that I wanted, all the Switch games I wanted were sold out. And it's just like, wow, that's fucking bullshit. And I was starting to get really, really salty about it because I was just like, alright, so now I'm at this Thanksgiving. It's just like, I just want to go to Best Buy and start cracking skulls. That's what I want to do. I didn't do it. Obviously, I'm here. I'm not in jail. But it's what I want to do. It just pissed me off so much that there are people out there that were able to just like, oh, fuck family. Let me just sit on this computer or my phone and just... And I'm mad that I didn't get to do that. And I'm just annoyed. So, after we left Thanksgiving, it's probably like 10 o'clock at night, maybe a little bit later, we decided to head over to the local Best Buy and see what was up. Now, of course, I missed out on Disgaea 5 Complete Edition, which I'm actually hearing a lot of people were having trouble finding in stores. Like, maybe a store would have a copy or 2. And there was also a game called Soldum Drop, Create, Erase, something like that. I forgot what the subtitle of it is. But Soldum, it's like a puzzle game that was supposed to be on sale for $15. With the exception of, like, Grimsy 42, I haven't seen anybody that was able to pick that up on Black Friday. So, these are the games I was able to get at that first Best Buy that we hit. I was able to get Minecraft Story Mode, which is $15, not bad, and Rayman Legends, a game that I was looking for a few weeks ago, and finally have for the Nintendo Switch. That was $20. We swung over to the Walmart that's right around the corner, and it wasn't that much of a shit show at the time when we got there, given it had been like open for 5 hours for Black Friday shit. But the main thing we were looking for was the, what is it, Super Mario Wired Controller Plus. They had them on sale for $17. We were able to pick up the Zelda edition, which I didn't find out later was actually not a plus. It doesn't have like the extra buttons or whatever other features. We decided to pick up 2 because at the time we were just like, what if we can't find another one? Like, we wanted 2, so like if we wanted to play Mario Kart 8 on the TV, we can both play with a real controller. Because I really don't like using the Joy-Cons for shit like that. So those were, what, $17 each, I believe? Where else did we go? I guess I'll get all the retail purchases out of the way. At the next place I went, I was able to find that Best Buy also has those kind of controllers on sale, and they have a fuck ton of the Mario ones. So I'm actually going to resell one of the Zelda ones because I don't even think you could hook up more than 2 wired controllers to the Switch. I don't even think it's possible. But like I said, this one is a wired controller plus. The Zelda one is not. This one comes with extra buttons, this one doesn't. So, very nice to have both. I really think as far as non-official products, like these are Nintendo licensed, but not made by Nintendo. This is made by PowerA. I've heard very good things about these, and they look really cool, so I'm very happy to have them. And it's about a quarter of the price of a Pro controller, which, you know, maybe those will drop in price eventually. So, as for Retro Black Friday, this is usually like the main thing I'm fucking doing on Black Friday. It's usually like the main course. I'm usually super hyped about it. The main game store I went to this year that had like the amazing deals that I had in previous years, like they used to have buy one get two free on PS2 stuff. Everything under $20 was buy one get one free. Stuff like that. It was just regular buy two get one free with no price limit. And then they also had buy two get one free, but had a price limit on like the PS2 and Xbox games, which was weird. 'Cause I don't know. Like their sale wasn't great. It just wasn't. Like, and all these sales excluded anything that was in the case and excluded NES, or no, it didn't exclude it. You can finally use it on like Super Nintendo, NES stuff, but it wasn't in the case, so it was just like common garbage. And they didn't really put out anything new. Like in previous years, it used to be I would walk into the Game Exchange on Black Friday, and it was almost as if they were holding back Super Nintendo games and NES games that haven't been on their shelves, because I go there constantly, and it would just be like, oh my god, I've never seen this Super Nintendo game, this one, like, I remember, like, a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, having, like, a thumbnail in my video where I'm just stacking up Super Nintendo games in one of the Game Exchanges. It was crazy, and it's just not like that right now. But you gotta adapt with these stores. So another store that's local, has a few chains, Retro Games Plus, had much better sales. They have buy two get one free on most items, and on certain systems like PS1, Wii, Xbox 360, PS3, they had buy two get two free, which is basically buy one get one free as long as you can match some good prices. So I went in there and they didn't have any exceptions as far as like whether it's in the case or not, which was good because this deal would not have been possible. So for $63, I was able to get these 4 PS1 games. Digimon World 3. That's going to be a recouper. I'm not a big fan of Digimon games. Saga Frontier 2. I believe I need for the collection. It's right there. I do not have it. I have the first Saga Frontier. I'll hold that one for last. Suikoden. I don't know how you say it. I grew up calling it Suikoden. I've heard people say Suikoden, which I think sounds really, really stupid, so I don't say it that way. But I've had this game forever. All these games are complete. Some of the discs kind of have like they were resurfaced with a bad resurfacer or by someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to test them out before I resell the ones that are doubles, but I assume because they're from a game store, they're probably gonna work, because do they just take in these expensive games and not try them out? I don't know. And the last game is one PS1 RPG I've been looking for quite some time, Threads of Fate. I'm very happy to have it. After I sell the games I don't need, the Digimon and the Suikoden, I'll probably be looking at maybe spending $10 for these 2 PS1 RPGs that I did need for the collection. On to later in the day. I'm recording this on Saturday. Black Friday, because I was up from 4 o'clock in the morning until like 10 o'clock at night, or whatever it is I fell asleep last night. It felt like the longest day, so I'm like thinking like it was another day, but it wasn't. It was just later that day. In the afternoon, we went back out, went to some other stores, and went to a whole different area and hit another Game Exchange and another Retro Games Plus. At the Retro Games Plus, I picked up 4 Wii games, 3 of which I'm probably going to be keeping for the collection. One that'll be a minor recouper, and that game is Ready to Rumble Revolution. Like I said, buy 2 get 2 free, so you kind of had to price match, and I wanted it to be something decent. Battalion Wars 2. I think I've had this game a few times, never held on to it. I think I will now. Same thing with Excitebots Trick Racing. Heard good things about it. Because you can only really use motion controls on it, I'm not sure if I'll really give it a good try, but, you know, hold on to it for now. And this is a game on the Wii that I've wanted since I heard of it, because I think it's just a cool concept. Castlevania Judgment. It's basically a Castlevania fighting game that has all, like, 14 characters from Castlevania games. I think that's really cool. So, about $20 for those. And I was also perusing the PS2 games, and they had two that looked kind of interesting, and they were buy one, get one free. So I decided to pick up Road Trip. Don't know much about it. Looks like a pretty fun racer. Actually, one of the screenshots on here has it looking kind of like Rocket League. Got a soccer ball in the middle of the field. I don't know. Looked kind of cool. And I needed to price match it with Summoner 2. Both were complete, pretty good shape. And now I believe I have all the Summoner games. Aside from the ones that they released on the GameCube, which I think were just re-releases of these ones, so who knows. That was it for Retro Games Plus. I wasn't really expecting to find anything at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or whenever it was we hit the Game Exchange down there. But they have a buy two, get one free sale on anything. Any game. And because they're Switch games, it was okay that they're in the case because those aren't retro. They're current gen. So, I picked up 3 Switch games for $107, buy two, get one free. And that is Splatoon 2, which we all know I hate. So this is a recouper. It's already sold for $45. So that's almost half my money back. Then we have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is another recouper. I just didn't want to get 2 copies of Splatoon 2 and make it weird. They're worth about the same. Although, in retrospect, because Mario Rabbids hasn't sold yet, I could have probably sold 2 copies of Splatoon 2 by the time of filming this, and I don't know, whatever. But the main reason I even went in on this deal is this game just came out, and I was surprised that they already had it pre-owned. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim for the Switch. Absolutely love this game. Going to be playing it a ton on my Switch. My problem with it was I didn't want to drop $60 on it. Brand new. So after selling these 2 games, I'll probably have paid like $20-ish for this, which is about where it should be. After, you know, seller fees and all that. But that is going to do it. I have nothing left. That is going to do it for this episode of, I don't have an official title for this pickup series, but it's what we're doing until Weekend Adventure comes back. And I wanted to mention, I'm kind of a superstitious person when it comes to shit like this. I've realized that had I continued Weekend Adventure and just like called these Weekend Adventure videos and also filmed and done them week to week, I would have had enough footage probably going to my flea markets. But I feel like the second I do and I try and film it, that's when it'll backfire on me. So, in the interest of continuing to find shit, I'm not going to try and film a Weekend Adventure. And we'll see how it works out. Like the video? Subscribe if you're new. Go check me out on Patreon if you want to support the channel. Big shout out to Todderbert for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And as always, keep it real, Internet. I love you guys.